Hey everybody, it's Whistling Whittler, Jerry McNulty, and I'm here with another video for you today. We're going to carve a Christmas Carol, a caricature female. So hopefully you got your tools ready and sharp and you're ready to go. This one is going to be straight out of a block of wood, so no pattern needed today. We're just going to sit and carve. If you are new here, go ahead and like and subscribe. And please leave comments. I like reading comments. And so if there's something you want to see or have some ideas on ways that I can improve with being nice, please leave those in the comment section. And well, we're going to have fun here. So guys, let's get after it and let's get carving. Okay, we are going to carve Christmas Carol. And if you look, she's got quite a bit of hair here. The bust is pretty simple. Not a lot of cleavage here. A little bit of a ruffle for this sweater. The face does have some good curves here with the cheekbone, strong cheekbone, come in more into a point and a chin. She's got a little bit of a nose on here that sticks out pretty good. Cheeks are back in here. Hair part is in the center here. So we'll do that. So to start off here, we're going to work with a 1.5 inch block. This is 5 inches long. It's a little bit more than we need here. You can cut it later if you'd like. The tools I have here in front of me, I have a knife, and I just grabbed one. This is one I kind of leaning to lately. I like the weight and handle of it. So I'm going to go ahead. This is Chad's knife. Once again, I've got, this is a V-tool, a 1/4 inch. This is a number 9. And this is a small one, 4 or 5 millimeters. And this is a number 7. And this is probably about 1/4 or so. So to get this kicked off here, I'm going to do some center lines. I'm going to do a center line on the top of the block, coming down just a little bit. I'm going to do a center line on this side, the back of the block. I'm going to do a center line this way. So I've got that X, and I'm going to come down on this side and on this side too. So I pretty much got this X and center lines coming down the side of the block. Now I'm going to determine which side I'm going to put the face on. And looking at the grain, this is the inside of the tree. This is the outside of the tree. It really doesn't matter too much because I'm not carving off the corner. I'm carving off the face, but I'm going to go with this side being my face. I'm going to look to go about 2 inches down on the face here. So I'm just going to put a rough mark about right here. And this will be the bottom of the chin right here. So to get started here, I'm going to start knocking these corners off. And I'm going to work from this one to this one and kind of create a kind of a diamond shape. You know, so I am going off a corner, but I'm making my own corner. And we'll start from there. So I'm just going to start about this line right here where the chin goes and start on the corner, taking them off and just swooping up. So these are just big cuts. Check how sharp your knife is here. And a little bit lower here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm getting close to that line on this side, getting close to this line on this side. A little bit more to go on this one. Yeah, that's pretty close there. Okay, so this will end up being the nose, so I don't want it, I I don't want it pointy. I'm going to leave a little bit of flat on here as we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just knock off these corners right here while I'm here. And I'm not going as hard of a angle as I did up front, just smoothing this out just a little bit. Okay, so I'm checking from the top, making sure it's relatively similar on the sides I've taken off, the right amount on the corners. I'm going to go ahead and take the top off and just kind of taper that top around around the whole head. And this is end grain up here, so it's really tight. So coming at an angle like that works pretty good. And taking these as tightly to the wood as possible helps you get around it. So I've kind of bullnosed that corner off, but what I want to do is taper it as it goes up there. So I'm worried about the sides and the back more than I am the front, because I'm going to take a whole lot of this off. So from here, I've tapered this. I'm going to come at a little bit more of an angle, and we'll start working down just a little bit more. So that's quite a bit of chunk in there. Continue to go over the top just a little bit more. Okay. So now I'm going to look at my face here. I'm going to go about half this distance, and I'm just going to eyeball it. If you measured it, we did 2 inches here, so this would be at the 1 inch line. And do a little stop cut here. Sink my knife down there. Now I'm not going straight in. I've got a little bit of undercut coming this way towards me. A little bit of an angle. And there I go. So I'm going to take from this corner, and I'm going to get the depth going this way now. So I'm going to start from here and just push it on back. As I'm pushing back, I'm not cutting straight, but I'm kind of swooping my nose a little bit to help get a little profile on that nose. So if you look at the front side here, you see how this kind of starts swooping back. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper. And now as I do this, it widens this angle here instead of that triangle that I had. So I'm going to get that triangle back by coming on the side of this nose here and on the side of the nose here. And that shortened this distance, and then I can come back just a little bit more. And I can repeat that step there. So that's given me kind of a shelf on there, and pushing that profile, that nose back a little bit. I still want to go a little bit further, but I'm going to do one more thing before I do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of figure out where my eye line is. So my eye line is going to go about right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put a line right here, and let's go ahead and give myself a little bit of eye line. So I'm going to take this gouge here and just go across here. And I'm not going as deep as I would on a male face, and I've got some compound on there, but these are going a little bit more shallow than I usually do on the male faces. Okay, so that's where my bridge of my eye line will be. So I'm going to do this little line here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my nose and I'm going to cut it down that line. So I'm using that line as a screed to come up to the eye line. So it's giving me a hard edge there on that nose instead of being flat. I'm just cleaning up the eye line a little bit. It really doesn't matter because I'm going to come back with that gouge again. But okay, so I am going to take this here and round this cheek just a little bit down and do the same thing here. And that's just because I don't have a lot of stuff right there now and it's easy to get to. But that'll all change here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to round this just a little bit more. And come back and clean up those eye mounds. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Okay, from here I'm going to go ahead and, well, I want to round this still a little bit more. I'm coming all the way across here, just cleaning off all the saw marks. There we go. Okay, from here what I need to do is determine where my face is going to go. So I'm going to come right here for the top of the head. I'm going to come down here and round it. I want to get to this jawline. So the hard part is making this line match that line. So I come here. I've got my center line here. So for the center line, I can kind of measure across here on both sides and see if I'm close there. So here, I'm about 3/4 that way and a little bit longer there. And that'll do it. So with these, this is a character face, but I'm trying to get this as much symmetrical as I can. We're going to exaggerate some stuff in here. But next tool I'm going to use is my V tool, and I'm going to use this to mark out the face. From the bottom of the chin, I'm starting on the bottom, and I'm cutting away from the face. So I'm just cutting in here, finding the bottom of that. As I roll my way up here past that chin, I'm going to roll to the inside of the face. I'm cutting to the inside. There I go. Okay, so I'm also going to find the ends of my hair and kind of mark where this is going to go. And this one's going to come a little bit like this, probably a little bit of an angle, and across like here. I'm going to go ahead and this is not even, doesn't have to be, but just put a stop cut there and take this up just a little bit. I'm coming down here with an angle, so it's not a hard cut all the way across. Do same thing with here. So this is a down angle. I'm narrowing the distance between here and here on these corners, and then I'll come and attack the center. Now, a lot of this work and what's going to make it look good is really getting that neck in there. So we're going to come down quite a bit on this neck. So might need to come back here with your tool and cut that neck and hairline deeper so that we can get in here. Start removing that. This is the work here, not the fun part. The fun part is putting that face up there, but this makes a lot of the difference right here. So we want to push this back as far as possible. So, I mean, really, if you think about it, these ears would be about right here in the middle of the head. This neck should go almost that far back. And that's a lot of wood, this one's there, that we went back quite a bit. And that also lets you come in here and shape the bottom of the jaw, kind of giving it more of a defined chin, because we were able to cut that as well. So that is the goal. We've got a lot of wood. But the more you get this out right here, it gives you somewhere to go with this, with the side of the face, and pull that hair down. And if you can come in here with another tool underneath here so that that's not a hard knife cut and we can get it rounded, that's even better. I'm starting to shape this bottom already. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to move on here. Still more I can do, but we'll go on. It's hard. Just want to keep working on it. Okay, so I took off quite a bit. There's still more I want to do. To get a nice, good swooping, curling neck in here that's proportionate to where it should go. Okay, so a little bit of cleanup in here. I'm going to do that with this tool, which is the soft V. Okay, so I've kind of got the shape of the face in here. It's relatively symmetrical on each side. I want to take out a little bit in here as we hit this cheekbone. I want to narrow this face like right in here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do a stop cut, and I'm not going to do the full thing. I'm just going to do where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to go right here and just stop cut there. And then I'm going to come around to this side where this cheek is and swoop it back in here. Just like that. Now the trick here is not to make 20 cuts in here, because you'll see all those lines. You saw me make one cut, stop cut here. I took the material out this way, and then I'm going to leave it alone so I don't have any additional cuts in here, and that line looks pretty smooth. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm working away from the face when I'm doing the stop cut. I'm cutting it way out here, probably a little bit back, and I'm watching where I started from there and trying to meet that point here, coming out. Now I can come around this way and cut up from that same spot on the cheek. And where you run into problems here is where you didn't cut it solid and it doesn't come out, because then you've got to put your knife back in here, and that's where you start prying and break tips. So I did cut this pretty good, so it just needed a little bit of a persuading there. I'm going to soften this forehead as it comes back to the hairline, and that's one of the big differences between the men's face and the woman's face is the forehead right there. It's a soft It doesn't have a heavy brow ridge. It's soft coming up into the hairline, gradual. So I don't have, like on a male, I would take the gouge and do a big heavy eyeline across there. This one's almost smooth going up from the nose all the way up into the forehead. Very subtle the way it's coming up there. And I am spending some time shaping the face so that a lot of it is as symmetrical as I can get it. I mean, you still want to put your character in there, but start with something that's symmetrical and then go from there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom here because we were going to give it a tighter jaw down here. And so I'm going to do the same thing I did up here, but I'm going to go underneath the cheekbone from about here down. So I'm going to start from here, do that stop cut, and come and remove the material. And it gave me that line coming down. So same thing on this side, and you'll have to turn this whatever direction you can work at. And keep in mind which way the grain goes. So, I mean, from this side, we swept it this way. If I was to sweep it that way, it works, but that's not the angle that I have to do it because it's left hand, right hand, and all that kind of jazz. But so comes the difficulty in making them even because you're not exactly cutting the same way as you did. I'm coming towards me here. I'm pushing away from me there. So this one's a little bit deeper than this one. So I'm going to have to come back and swoop it a lot. And the pressure is different, so you do have the chance of slipping here and cutting that or cutting yourself. So you want to make sure you do have your safety equipment on when you're doing this. So I've got a little bit of a mess to clean up now. And this is where the digging comes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm harder on this side than I am on this side, so I'm going to take a little bit more off this side. My stop cut's already there. All I have to do is just swoop the little bit out. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's come back and put these eyes in here. So I'm making sure these eye mounds look kind of the same on each side is what I'm doing. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'll just cut the bandsaw marks off right here. Okay, so I'm going to do my center line again, and I'm going to start where that eye line is, coming down here, and I'm going to define the width of the nose. So up here, I'm going to start really small. And that's the thing that I like about a lot of these females is just really tiny noses that look good. A big nose kind of doesn't really work. And actually, I'm going to grab another tool here. I'm going to grab, so it should be a number 11. And this is a smaller one. And I'm going to push this number 11 up the side of this line here, but I'm not going to start it until probably about there. So that I can do a little bit more of a wing on this nose here. So I'm coming up here with this number 11, and I want to get a little bit of depth in there so this nose pops out from the face a little bit. So I'm pushing down pretty deep right in there, and so that does give the nose a little bit of a chamfer and angle in there. I'm taking it off with that same tool that I've been shaping the eye mounds with. Okay, I'll get a little bit more. Yeah, and I totally am cleaning up as I go because I want these eyes to be clean and crisp, and having a clean and crisp foundation to put them on makes a difference. Okay, so same thing with the other side. So I'm pushing up here. And I'm just coming across to kind of cut the tail off that chip and then cleaning that up with the other tool. Okay. clean off the pencil line. Okay, and let's just give it a little bit of a part in the hair right here. So I'm going to come up just a little bit. Okay, so from this tool that went up here, it left a little bit of a ridge here. I'm going to take that off with my knife on both sides. Okay, and watch these eye mounds so they are the same. Okay, so now this eye here, what I'm going to do there is I'm going to start with my straight line coming down the side of the nose. I'm going to do a horseshoe, and before I get to the bottom of that, where that line stops, I'm going to flare it out. Normally, if this was a guy, I'd come down here and then we'd come a line here and then put a bag or something under there. I'm not doing a bag here. I'm doing a little bit of a line that's coming out like there, a little tail. So this one looks a little bit more rounded than this one. So I'm going to take it off and try it again. Okay, that's better. Okay, to start with, I'm going to come down that line right here, down the side of the nose. Then I'm going to stop cut the rest of this, and then come out that little tail. Now to cut this out, I'm going to remove this at an angle so that it's pulling a triangle out of the corner. And then I'm going to remove just a little sliver from the rest of it. Now, because I went this way and then I came this way, it left a little ridge at the top here. On a male, I wouldn't worry about it. On a female, I'm going to come back and round it just a tad bit and take that off. So that one's done. Same thing on this side. So I'm going to come straight down. I'm going to stop cut the rest of this around to that tail that hangs out. And then I'm going to come and triangle out of the corner. I'm removing the little bit of material underneath there, making sure I'm rounded all the way across. And then I'm done. So from these, I'm going to do a real simple eye. I'm not doing an eyebrow or anything like that. All I'm doing is just a little line across here, and I'm rounding it. I'm going to stop cut this. I'm removing a triangle from both sides of the eye. Same thing here. Stop cut. Bottom there. Triangle. Triangle. A little bit of material there, and there it goes. Okay, I'm going to do a couple little eyeballs here. I'm going to make her look off one side. Okay, so let's work on this nose a little bit. I'm going to do a smile line that comes down here just a little bit and stops. Same thing here, just a little bit and stop. Now, I don't want to do a hard smile line with my knife so I can see a strong stop cut and remove the material. I'm going to do this with my V tool. So I'm going to actually stay away from the corner of this nose and start down just a little bit lower. This I will do with my knife, but this line here, I don't want to break this, so I'm going to start a little lower and just come and push this down. Same thing on this side. So Now up here, I'm going to do a little stop cut, give me somewhere to go. I'm going to remove the corner off this nose and then remove this material underneath it. Same thing here. So I'm going to do a little stop cut there, the corner off the nose, move the material. So I'm going to stand back a little bit or look back and make sure that the wings of the nose are the same on each side, and they look pretty good. I did a stop cut, so I'm going to come and undercut just a little bit on the back of that nose so it looks a little bit rounded. But this line here on both sides I want to be soft, so I'm going to come back with that same V tool and just kind of smooth it out, make sure that they're good. And then up here, just kind of soften this with my knife, just a tad bit. Okay, so now I've got this denture mound right here, and I'd actually prefer it to be a little higher than it is, but I'm going to work with what I got for these lips. And so what I'm doing here, I'm going to put it probably about right here. I'm not going to go the full width here, probably about the side of the nose, down here, the side of the nose here, and I'm going to do a little arch to the center, an arch there. Now you want that to kind of be the same on each side, so that's why I'm drawing it. Now I'm coming back with my V tool, and I'm leaning the V tool into the side of the face so that I get a downward angle for the lips. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to push this in here and turn it, and then just push this in here and turn this one too. Okay, so and then I'm going to come and follow that same line, but I'm going to stop cut it with my knife, get kind of deep, and remove the material up against it. I'm going to come down here and bring that lip just down a little bit so that okay. Make these lips a little bit more full by cutting up just a little bit more. This one's going to cut the nose here, so you got to be very careful. And then we'll give her a snot trap, although I want to give her a little bit more of an angle here before I do that. Okay, I'll give a little bit of a snot trap in there. And she looks good. Okay, so now let's worry about this brow here, or the underlip. So I'm going to come down here like this. I'm going to go up in the center and around like that. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use that big number 11. And I'm going to start in the center with the dip that goes up. I'm going to push it and roll it around. And then this side. Go ahead and smooth that out any way you need to. Okay, so she's got that there. I'm going to use my knife and cut the sides of the mouth just a little bit, undercut the bottom lip so it fits underneath the top lip. Just like that. A little bit of cleanup. Okay, so now I got this chin here that's kind of hard, so I want to kind of take that off, and I'm just going to take from the bottom of that lip and swoop down and hit that on both sides. Okay, so doing that, it's telling me that it wants a little bit deeper of a lip, so I'll come back here a little bit more. A little bit more cleanup down here. Okay, so I'm going to soften this edge of this chin right here. Just kind of round it over just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to give her a little bit of more shape in this hair here. So about from this part right here, probably about from the bottom here, maybe half an inch up, and swoop a little bit. So she's got a kind of a flip on the bottom, or I don't even know what you call that. Okay, so I'm going to give her a cut right here. Pull that hair up just a little bit right there. I'm going to go deeper with this part here. So this chin looks kind of bulky to me, so I'm going to take it down a lot. And that's part of this is just seeing what you got and just keep going. Okay, so okay, so let's get back to this neck. Okay, so I'm going to go and mark where I want this neck to be. So this neck is going to probably go about right here. And I'm going to take that U-gouge, and I'm just going to work my way around there. So it's pushing the neck a little bit back and defining where it is. Okay, so I'm going to roll the bottom of this chin up. Now the same thing we did to cut these bring the face in right here, I'm going to do the same thing right here, down here. So I'm going to start with a stop cut on the outer side. Then I'm going to come here and remove the material up against that stop cut at an angle here, round in the neck. We had a little chip that didn't come. So same thing here. Stop cut. Move the chip to that stop cut. I want to take a little bit off of the corners of the face here at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to give it a neck here, the sweater neck that comes up like that. So all I'm going to do is come around this right here and kind of swoop it up, just like this. Really swooping that. And I want to work it around here. Let's see, if you see this one, the neck goes all the way out the back. So that's a lot of little wood to take off if you just work your way around it. And really watching the height of this hair really makes a difference too. But so just keep rounding this or swooping it up, just making that smaller and smaller until you finally get through. I might not do it all on the video, but but that's how you get there. Okay, so I've pretty much got around the whole thing with that swoop cut. I'm coming down the bust just a little bit, shaping this a little bit. I'm going to put some arms in here and kind of round these corners off just a little bit. So for these arms, I'm going to come down about that center line there, just straight down here. Well, that's about a 1/4 inch. I'm going to do the same thing on the back side. And the front, we're only talking about maybe that. Okay, so I'm going to grab that V tool. I work my way down here along that line in the front, also doing the lines on the side. And then a little bit more with the knife. You can just use your knife here as a stop cut. Okay, I'm only cutting the front side here on the video. Should do the same thing on the back. And on the back, you've got a lot of extra wood here, giving her a fat back there, so you're going to want to thin this down quite a bit. And I'm going to roll this around the front out, kind of tapering it a little bit when it gets to the top. You can come here about bottom of the breast line, swoop it in just a little bit. Still a big old back there. Okay, so this collar here, I'm just going to follow and add a line a little bit low here. Maybe a 1/4 inch. That's what I got. Use that V tool. So you shape this a little bit with your knife if you'd like to. But from there, what you're going to do is we want to have it like kind of a knitted sweater look. So I'm going to take a little U-gouge and just coming up here making cut lines. And these are almost all even going across here. So spend some time working around the figure. But that's pretty much it. We got a little bit of work to do on the hair. The way I'm doing this hair here is I'm starting with something deeper, something big, like these the V tool work, and I'm just gonna watch the grain direction, and I don't want it to go straight down. I want it to kind of flow. So I'm going to just come here and do some kind of swirl cuts that are not even going up here, meeting it at the part. Coming across here a little bit. I mean, if you wanted to, you can actually stop cut this in here and pull the hair away from the face, giving it more of a shadow underneath there. But that's up to you. So following this around, breaking up that profile as it leaves down here. So as I get that pretty much cut, then I'll come back with something smaller in here and just put some little bit of texture in the ridges and valleys so that it breaks it up and it makes it show that there's lots of hairs in there. But some more knife work. This is too flat for me. If you look at how this is, it's really flared a whole lot. I even came in with a knife a little bit and cut some of those deeper, so it gives it different layers in the hair. But you can do all that. Hope you had fun with this today. A little bit more shape on the bust line for me, and this one's done, guys. This is the Whistling Whittler. If you enjoyed your content today and the carving, please remember to like and subscribe. I really enjoyed doing this. Leave a comment below. This is fun stuff, and I enjoy doing these. And if there's something you want to see that I haven't done yet, or something you want to see a different version of it, just let me know. I'm more than happy to work that into what I'm doing. So, guys, the Whistling Whittler, thank you.